Yo, tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night that'll be taking place in Paris, France, between Renato, Moicano, and Benoit, God of War, Saint Denis. In this video right here, we're gonna run through this card from bottom to top, one final time. Call it the final talks, call it the final lap, call it what you will. We're gonna run through this motherfucker from bottom to top one more again. And yes, I know we've been over this card quite a few times already, but it very much just is what the fuck it is at this point. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'm fitting to fire up this OG wedding cake and burn this motherfucker down with y'all while we talk about this card, as well as a few parlay options, because I myself am already heavily invested into quite a few of the individuals on this card. Let's talk about it. I'll do my best not to hold y'all ear hostage for too long or to be too redundant. You know what I'm talking about? But it is what it is, man. First fight of the night, Oki versus Chris, and I'm still very much so on the side of Oki to be the one to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Just not necessarily sure how he's going to go about securing the victory on Saturday, as I personally believe he could go about securing the victory in any which way he so chooses to do so. And what I mean by that, I feel like Oki could catch, clip, and disconnect Chris from his consciousness to secure the victory via KO, TKO. I believe he could catch, clip, hurt Chris, hop on him to, secure the submission, club and sub type situation. I believe he could get the fight down to the mat, search for the submission, find it, sink it in, lock it up, and get him out of there inside the distance via submission like that. Or if it goes the full 15 minutes, I'm talking about old boy survives the whole distance, I can see Oki winning via unanimous decision just by producing the better all-around body of work absolutely everywhere that the fight may take place. So for those reasons, Oki is still very much so the pick at -215 over Chris, who's the +164. Oki is also the first leg of my main parlay, as well as being the first leg of my foundation that I used for most of my parlays for this card this week. You know what I'm talking about? Moving on. Women's MMA, a rematch between these two young women. Nora versus Jacqueline. I'm still very much so on the side of the dog, which is Nora, to be the one to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion, while avenging her one and only loss, which was from her first ever professional mixed martial arts bout. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it is what it is, man. I personally believe, from what I've seen from both of these young women, that the involvement from their first matchup, the involvement on Nora's side has been just a bit better in my personal opinion. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not to say that Jacqueline's still the same young woman that Nora fought, all that time ago. Just to say that I personally believe the involvement on Nora's side has been a bit more. And I believe she's gonna take this rematch, man. I know her one and only loss comes via being on the wrong side of a decision to Jacqueline in their first matchup. But like I said, that was also Nora's first ever professional mixed martial arts bout. She has not lost since then. She wants that one back. You understand what I'm saying to you? And she's coming to get that one back in her backyard, in her hometown, in a women's mixed martial arts matchup that is going to be highly competitive absolutely everywhere that it may take place. I just don't believe Jacqueline is going to be able to come out there and do one of the two things that she's going to need to do to secure a victory against Nora in her backyard. And that would be, one, finding the finish inside the distance via KO, TKO, or via submission. I don't see Jacqueline being able to do that against Nora on Saturday night. Or two, coming out there and just producing the absolutely all-around better body of work, absolutely everywhere that the fight may take place, to just significantly separate herself and her body of work from Nora and Nora's body of work over the course of 15 minutes to secure the victory via unanimous decision. I don't see it happening, man. In my personal opinion, I do not see it happening. Nora's the pick via unanimous, majority, or split. And I would not be surprised if Nora found the finish inside the distance. Again, all just my personal opinion and the way I'm going about this situation. You know what I'm talking about? Not locked up in any of my main plays or main parlays. Will be in a, prelim haymaker. You know what I'm talking about? But other than that, whole card haymakers, whole card Hail Mary tosses and all that, I don't want anything to do with this fight. Nor is the pick. She will be in a prelim haymaker, but that's absolutely it, man. Moving on, Daniel versus Victor. Daniel's now a plus 100 and Victor's a minus 128. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is still a fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with. At least I was able to catch Vic, who is my pick, at a dog tag. You know what I mean? When I got him. If I'm not mistaken. I might be fucking tripping, man. Plus 107 or something like, the early bird prelims, they gotta go in a special slot in the wallet. You know what I'm talking about? I'm a fucking degenerate, man. I got tickets everywhere, man. You know what I'm talking about? But I know I ain't tripping. I ain't got caught him and Ivan at like plus 107 or some shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? I put a couple haymakers and Hail Marys in as soon as the motherfucking lines hit the motherfucking kiosk and as soon as the lines are available on the app so I can catch them good money lines. You know what I'm talking about? I caught Victor at even on this one, and I caught Ivan at plus 105. You know what I'm talking about? It must have been plus 107 and plus 107 on the app. But I caught him even money on that one and plus 105 for Ivan. You know what I mean? Because I fucked with Ivan in the Ion fight on a Hail Mary. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, you know what I'm talking about? Vic's the pick. I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Fuck this fight unless we're talking about, you know what I mean, a Hail Mary or a haymaker. Talking about 10 legs type shit, which I put him in over at the casino as soon as it was available on the kiosk. You know what I mean? There was some plus money numbers that I wanted, so I jumped on them. And there was some, it was just some money lines that I wanted to grab, so I grabbed them while they was available. You know what I mean? That was my haymaker shit. You know what I'm saying? But then I got my other motherfucking 4-legger, 5-legger, 6-legger shit too. You know what I mean? Because you got motherfuckers like Ludovic Klein and shit at minus 1,200 right now. You know what I'm talking about? I guess this motherfuckers is getting crazy, man. Shit's getting out of control, man. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this real quick though. We'll get into that in a minute, man. You know what I mean? Vic the pick. I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? Vic's the pick though. I don't know why Victor was ever, you know what I mean? Neither one of these motherfuckers really belong in the UFC, in my personal opinion. Let's get that the fuck out the way. I'm not high on either one of these guys, but Vic, I don't necessarily know why he was ever the underdog anyway against Daniel. He got the height advantage, he got the reach advantage, he got the speed advantage, he got the volume advantage, he got the wrestling and grappling advantage. He got so many advantages in this matchup. I personally believe he's going to overwhelm Daniel. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe find a finish inside the distance. Maybe just get it via unanimous decision. Vic's the pick, though. I don't want nothing to do with this shit. But I don't understand why he was ever the underdog, though. You know what I mean? Moving on, man. Aylin versus Dara. This is one that I went back and forth with, man. I've gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like a motherfucker with this fight. With the, where we at? The Imavov and Allen fight. You know what I'm talking about? And, yeah, the Aylin, Dara, Imavov, Allen, and Morgan and Gabe. Yep, I think that's the three I've gone back and forth on like a motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Aylin, she's been the pick, to go out there, I guess, and get this one done via unanimous decision. My personal opinion in the beginning was that Aylin was going to be able to go out here based off of volume, pressure, you know what I'm talking about, and her all-around body of work, just go out here and be able to secure this motherfucking decision. I've since went, and dug a little bit deeper, watched a little bit more on Dara. I don't even know if I'm saying her name. I don't even know if I'm saying Aylin's name right. I don't know if I'm saying either one of their fucking names right. My bad. But either way, I've gone back and I looked at the other young lady a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I just don't necessarily know that Aylin's going to be able to go out here and overwhelm her. If she's unable to get her down and unable to implement her game, what is it going to look like on the feet in the striking department for 15 minutes with Dara? If Dara keeps this thing upright, keeps it on the feet, keeps it highly competitive in the striking department, possibly slightly out edges Aylin in the volume department while stuffing, multiple takedowns, and it's highly competitive, man. Dara's over there. She has that motherfucking flag. She's in her backyard. She's in her hometown. It's women's MMA. If it's highly competitive, Who would be surprised if it went the other way? This is one of those what ifs, you know what I mean? What if Aylin can't come out there and can't overwhelm this young woman? You know what I mean? What if this young woman keeps this motherfucking fight upright and produces the better body of work over the course of 15 minutes in the striking department, or at least keeps it highly competitive and gets the nod via split or majority decision to go her way? You know what I mean? And another dog barks in the, you know, in the female category on the prelims. That'd be a motherfucking, that'd be a whomper for anybody who parlayed Aylin up. You know what I'm talking about? And I believe I'm one of those, anybody's who's parlayed her up. I parlayed her up. I got her in a 6-legger. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I got her in a 5-legger too. From earlier in the week when motherfucking Zayn was at plus money and shit like that. I'm gonna have to pull them out and check on them. But either way you look at it, this is a scary fight, man. It's a scary fucking fight. We'll come back to it. Taylor versus Vince. I'm still very much so on Taylor. You know what I'm talking about? In my personal opinion, you could take Taylor and put him, you could put the price tag that's next to Ludovic next to Taylor, and put the price tag next to Taylor next to Ludovic. You understand what I'm saying to you? Taylor should be the biggest favorite on his card, in my personal opinion. I get why Ludovic's the biggest favorite on the card. You know what I mean? They're both clean, man. They're both clean. They're both sharp. They're both smart. Their IQs are both on point. They're both well-rounded. They're both solid. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't see a night where Vince ever walks away victorious in a fight with Taylor, man. I understand it's a fist fight. It's a fight. It's mixed martial arts. But I don't, you know, one might want to think that Vince has a puncher's chance, but I don't believe Taylor would ever leave the opportunity, you know, leave the window open. He's not one of those guys, man. You know what I'm talking about? He doesn't leave shit unattended, if you understand what I'm saying to you, man. The opportunity to catch, clip, and disconnect this young man from his consciousness will not be available. You know what I mean? You'll have to be a lot higher level of a motherfucking, you know, of a striker and an individual than that of Vince to get one over on Taylor, in my personal opinion. The opportunities won't be left available, you know what I mean? The openings won't be left, you know what I'm saying? He's too solid, he's too well-rounded, he picks his shots too well, he's too smart, his IQ's too sharp, you know what I'm talking about? Again, this is all just my personal opinion, but that's why Taylor's the pick, man, you know what I mean? Oh, if I skipped over, Aylin's a minus 260 and Dara's a plus 196, Taylor's a minus 390 and Vince is a plus 280. You know what I'm talking about? So Oki's the pick over Chris. Nora's still the pick over Jacqueline, but I don't want anything to do with the fight. Victor's still the pick over Daniel, but I don't want anything to do with the fight unless we're talking about haymakers and haymakers for the prelims. As of right now, Aylin is still the pick over Dara, but that is to be determined. That is to be determined, man. That is, I'm out to lunch on that one right now. You understand what I'm saying to you? Taylor's still the pick over Vince, and Ludovic, for all the things I just said about Taylor, is the pick over Roosevelt. Taylor, I mean, Ludovic's too clean, man. He's too crisp, too solid, too well-rounded, too smart, too sharp, IQ too good. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's not going to leave the openings. He's not going to leave the opportunities. In my personal opinion, there's not a night that Roosevelt walks away victorious from a fight with Ludovic. You know what I mean? Yeah, with Ludovic. You should make Roosevelt fight Vince. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck this. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Sai versus Jung. Ludovic's minus 12 fucking 100. My bad, I forgot this. Ludovic's a minus 1200. Roosevelt's a plus 630. Jeez. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because for Ludovic to look and justify a minus 1200, he would have to go out there and get this fight finished inside the distance in the first 5 minutes. Minus 1200, we'll say the first 7 minutes. 6.5 minutes, first 7 minutes. You know what I mean? If he does, rock this motherfucker up. Put him on Wobble Street. You know what I'm talking about? Prior to the end of the first round. And then just get him the fuck up out of there. Finish the motherfucking job inside the first minute, first 2 minutes of the second round. Then maybe you justify and maybe you look like a minus 1200. But if this thing goes to decision, you know what I'm talking about, or it goes into the motherfucking third rounds, into the late minutes before he finds the finish, he doesn't justify or look like a minus 1200 in my personal opinion. And that's most likely how it's going to go. Ludovic's not somebody who just goes out there and finishes individuals with quickness because of all the reasons and all the things that I stated. He's very smart, very sharp. He picks his shots, very solid, very well-rounded. You understand what I'm saying to you? Very clean, very crisp, doesn't leave the opportunities open. You know what I'm saying? So he's not somebody who goes out there, balls to the wall, kill or be killed, and you can, you know, bank on looking minus 1200, or has ever done anything to deserve looking or deserve having a price tag of minus 1200. In my personal opinion, as solid as he is, as well-rounded as he is, as sharp as he is, and his IQ is, as smart as he is, as much as he picks his shots, doesn't leave opportunities, you know, openings available and all of that type shit. He's never done anything to look like a minus 1200. You know what I'm talking about? In my personal opinion. And I fuck with him heavy. You know what I mean? It just, I don't fuck with these money lines, man. You know what I mean? Size a minus 480 against Jung, who's a plus 330. And Sai is still very much so to pick. And my bad, I started off letting y'all know what my first leg of my main parlays were and what my first leg of my foundation was. And then I kind of slipped off of that. But I got 4 legs that are my foundation from heaviest favorite down. You got Ludovic, Sai, motherfucking Umar. You know what I'm talking? No, my bad. Ludovic, Sai, Taylor, and Umar. You know what I'm talking about? And they come together at like plus 140. You feel what I'm saying to you? So a minus 1200, a minus 480, because that's what Sai is. A minus 390, that's what Taylor is. And a minus 215, that's what Oki is. Those 4 individuals are my foundation that I'm using to start to build my longer parlays off of this week. And those 4 individuals come together at plus 140, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they come together at plus 140. I got it written down right here because I said we're going to go over a few parlays, man. So those 4 do come together at plus 140. So it is a plus money number to start from. I just got the chills back this motherfucker, man. You know what I'm talking about? So at least 4 heavy favorites like that I do not see a night where either one of them motherfuckers lose the fight. At least we can put the 4 of them together and get a plus money number of plus 140. You can parlay that up, which I already did, heavy, and then add your 5th and 6th, you know what I mean? Just a 5th leg. Swap out options if you so choose to do so and don't want to go too heavy, or 5th, 6th leg. Other individuals that you were confident in on this card. If you're confident in those 4 like I am. If you're not confident in those 4, then, you know what I mean? To each their own, and, you know, best of luck with your foundation, your bets, and your parlays. You know what I'm talking about? That's my foundation. Moving on, though. Sai is the one, that's the guy, in my personal opinion, to get it done. With all due respect to Jung, just never really been very high on the guy. You know what I'm talking about? And Sai on the other side, he is a guy that I'm, you know what I mean, slightly high on, man. I'm very interested to see who he's matched up with moving forward and what he's able to do with the higher levels of opposition. Jung is not that. You understand what I'm saying to you? So that is why, for me, this is a very winnable matchup for Sai to get it done, much like I said, you know, about Oki, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm not necessarily sure how he's going to go about securing it, as I believe he can secure this victory any which way he so chooses to do so. You know what I'm talking about? If he wants to come out of there and get him out of there inside the distance in some way, shape, form, or fashion, via KO, TKO, or via submission, or if he wants to come out there and put on a master class and just completely dust him off and do the better all-around body of work over the course of 15 minutes everywhere, I believe, you know, Sai can do that as well as Oki can do that. You understand what I'm saying to you? And when it comes to Taylor and Ludovic, I just feel like undeniably they're going to put out the better all-around body of work absolutely everywhere over the course of 15 minutes. And if the finish presents itself inside the distance in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they will take it, but they won't jump on it recklessly or aggressively. You know what I mean? You won't see them pursuing it in any kind of reckless or aggressive fashion. You know what I mean? They're individuals who are smart, sharp, and pick their shots. So for Ludovic and Taylor, you know what I mean? It's via unanimous decision. Undeniably, you know what I mean? When it goes the distance, unanimous decision. If they find a finish inside the distance, if it presents itself, they'll take it, but they won't chase it. You know what I'm talking about? Oki and Sai, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. In any way, shape, in any way they so choose to do so, in my personal opinion. They could definitely end inside the distance, or they could definitely go the distance, man. But that's why those four individuals are very much my foundation. You know what I'm talking about? Moving on, Ion versus Ivan. And Ion is a minus 125, slight favorite. The Ivan, minus 102. And Ivan's the pick. You know, on my little haymaker, I got him at plus 105. And Vic at even money. You know what I'm talking about? So, at least when I motherfucking parlayed his ass up in my little haymaker and my Hail Mary toss, I was able to catch a plus money number on him. It's a fight I want nothing to do with. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's nowhere near any of my main plays, my main parlays, any of that. You know what I mean? It's just, it's all on haymakers. You know what I mean? Haymakers for the prelims, possibly a haymaker or Hail Mary tosses for the whole card, like I did when I put them early ones in. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm just not high on Ion, man. In any way, shape, form, or fashion. Has he faced a higher level of opposition in his career? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, he has, undeniably, without a doubt in my mind. And anybody that questions it is, we ain't even gonna get into that. You just lost your rabbit ass mind. You know what I'm talking about? He has undeniably been across the cage from that higher level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? But there's never been anything impressive about him in any way, shape, form, or fashion, man. Why he's still around? He must have caught one of those 8-fight, 10-fight contracts or something back when. You know what I'm talking about? Because why this boy is still around is beyond me. You know what I mean? I mean, his deliverance, you know what I mean? Like the way he promotes himself, you know what I mean? Solid. I can get behind it. I can fuck with the energy and all that. He's a geek, you know what I mean? I geek off of him. Not he ain't a geek like he a nerd, but he's a geek. He's a motherfucker to geek off of. You understand what I'm talking about? Painting himself all green, coming out there. Remember when that motherfucker screamed in Khalil Roundtree's face, the way Khalil just went like this? Yo, that motherfucker makes some funny. He makes for some funny moments, man. You know what I mean? I give Ion Kuti Alaba that. He makes for some funny motherfucking moments when he comes out there and screams. But that scream in Roundtree's face, the way Roundtree's neck shot, his body didn't fucking move, but his neck went back and then came back in like this. Like, I'm not, like, the fuck? I'm not. Boy, that shit was, I can't even do it right. But the way Roundtree's motherfucking neck and his face looked, man, that shit was fucking hilarious. And then you can't recall all the times that motherfucking Ion has made a moment. You know what I mean? He makes moments. You understand what I'm saying to you? And, you know, much like some of these other individuals that I've talked about in the past, you know what I mean? He can make for a great fight. You know what I'm talking about? But just because you can make for a great fight does not make you a great fighter. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he is not a great fighter, man. He has pop. He has power. He's relentless. He has heart. You know what I mean? He will go out on his motherfucking shield. He does not give a fuck. He is kill or be killed. You understand what I'm saying to you? He embodies all of that. But he's nothing special, man. And Ivan, not to compare him or say that he's on the same level, you know what I'm talking about, but I see a lot of, when I see Ivan fight, the way he stands, the way he throws, the way he approaches the fight, the way he moves, I see a lot of, I see a lot of Ozdemir in him. You understand what I'm saying to you? I see a lot of Volkan Ozdemir in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And Volkan Ozdemir ain't no chump. He ain't no chump. Like anybody else, he can get caught. I'm not saying there's not a night where Ion doesn't catch Ivan and get him the fuck up out of there inside the distance via KO TKO. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's very much so a night where that can happen if Ivan allows it to. I don't believe Ivan is, you know, that reckless. You know what I mean? He's just a bit more of a technical practitioner than Ion. He's a bit more composed. Let me say that. He's a bit more composed, you know what I mean? He got some motherfucker hella pop in his shots too. And he can get the wilding out in that motherfucker. But he's still just a bit more composed. And I like anybody who's a bit more composed than motherfucking Ion when he gets in there, man, because he really just goes for it sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? And leaves hella openings and hella opportunities. And I can see Ivan clipping him clean with a counter while he's coming in and just sidestepping and watching him fucking face plant and kiss the canvas. Pop! And not even following up. Just watching him drop. Boom! Boom! Just walking off, man, while the referee's standing over top of him, flipping Ion over. You know what I'm talking about? I can see it, man. That's the way Ion fights. He's kill or be killed. He's either coming to take you out or get taken out. And I can see him getting took smooth the fuck out by Ivan. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to embrace this opportunity. I don't believe, you know, approach this fight too reckless or too aggressive that he gets caught. So, for what it's worth, Ivan's the pick still, but it's still something I don't want anything to do with. Unless we talking about, you know, 9, 10 leg, 12, 13, 14, 9, 10 leg, you know, for the haymakers. When we talking about them Hail Marys and shit, you know what I mean? We try to put this whole card together on the app, you know what I mean? Main card, Zaim versus Frevola. The steamroller. For all y'all that's out there on the steamroller, I know y'all motherfuckers is happy, man. That shit just came right on your way. He got a motherfucking dog tag next to his name, plus 100. Doesn't matter what it is, that motherfucker say plus. Plus 100, man. Zaim's a minus 128. Zaim's still the pick for me. Zaim's still the pick for me. And, you know, I caught Zaim in all of my shits. 4-legger, 5-legger, 6-legger, haymaker, all of that shit. I believe I caught him at everything at a plus what he number, if I'm not mistaken. Where we at? Yeah, I caught him at plus 112, plus 108, and then I caught him at 2 minus 110s. So, you know what I'm talking about? I gotta pull out that app, because I got some early birds in on that app, because you know that app will post them motherfuckers weeks. You get an opportunity to hit some of these lines a week, sometimes 2 weeks prior to the fights ever even taking place. It's a downside. Sometimes fights get canceled, but the upside is they don't get canceled. They take place. The motherfuckers, you know, come through, and you got a good price tag on them. Listen, I get the Frevola pick. I'm a Matt, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm a Matt. I'm not a steamroller guy. I fuck with the squad though. You know what I mean? I fuck with him. He a cool cat. You know what I mean? He a cool cat. Cool individual. You know what I'm talking about? But when we talking about this fight right here, we gotta put that shit to the side, man. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Matt can come out here and knock Zaim out. If I thought Matt was gonna come out here and knock Zaim the fuck out, we'd be talking about something else. If I thought Matt was gonna come out here and be able to just rinse and repeat takedowns for 15 fucking minutes and rack up maybe 6.5 minutes of control time while also putting Zaim in multiple compromisable positions over the course of 15 minutes, and while it was on the feet, keeping it extremely competitive and possibly also hurting Zaim on the feet in the striking department, then we'd be talking about something different. But I don't think that's going to be the case, man. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Zaim's going to keep Frevola at range. I think he's going to use that distance game very fucking well. And why Frivola is the more powerful of the two and does possess the most pop in his shot between the two of these individuals. I don't necessarily know that he's going to find the chin cleanly enough to get him up out of there. Zaim's nice, man. Zaim is underrated, in my personal opinion, man. You know what I'm talking about? The kid is nice, man. He's solid. He's well-rounded. Not necessarily a high-volume striker, you know. I'm not going to sit here and compare Zaid to Ludovic or Taylor, but I'm just going to state facts. He's clean. He's crisp. The motherfucker's sharp, man. You know what I'm talking about? His fight IQ. It's nothing to be slept on. His all-around game, offensively, defensively, and the body of work he's able to produce. He's nobody's chump stop. He's in his hometown. He's in his backyard. In my personal opinion, if Frivola doesn't get him out of there inside the distance, Frivola's not winning. It is going to be highly competitive on the feet, man. And Frivola's going to want to work that motherfucking wrestling in early. I don't know how successful he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? If he gets him down, how successful he's going to be at keeping him down. You understand what I'm saying to you? We got 15 minutes. We got 5-minute rounds. Matt Frivola is not necessarily somebody who comes out there and just Khabibs people. You know what I mean? And he doesn't put out chain together takedowns like Marab. You understand what I'm saying to you? He just has an all-around game. I could see Matt getting submitted with the long limbs of Zaim if he plays too much early with the wrestling and grappling, leaving his motherfucking neck out there the way he leaves his neck out there when he goes in for these singles and these doubles, and when he's up against the cage and he's trying to work for a single. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he's trying to lock them hands around the back and work for the double to scoop Zaim and drop him on his booty. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's going to leave all of this open for the elbows to the temple, for Zaim to start motherfucking working them long limbs for the front chokes, you know what I mean? Zaim's defensive grappling and, you know, the way he extends himself, stretches his motherfucking legs out, uses his motherfucking base, uses that motherfucking cage to reverse and get off. Like, he's no chump, man. He's no chump, man. And I'm not going to talk about the age because, what, it might be like a 6-year youth advantage for Zaim, but at 34 for Matt and 28 for Zaim, you have one in Matt who's in his prime. You know what I'm talking about? Who's in his prime time, and one for Zaim who's entering his prime. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to even talk about a youth advantage or disadvantage in this matchup with 34 and 28, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? We may very well be seeing, you know, the best of Matt in there on Saturday night, and what is, you know, Zaim beginning to come into the best of himself. You feel what I'm saying to you? For a highly competitive matchup, absolutely everywhere. Will Matt find the clean shots, the open opportunities to land the clean shots to swell up or bust open Zaim? You know what I mean? Because I believe Zaim's going to do the cleaner work, the crisper work. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's just about, will he leave the openings, the opportunities for Matt to crack him good and hurt him, to have him, you know, in survival mode or retreating, you know what I mean, and kind of running from Matt for a little bit so Matt can put that pressure on him, back him up, and just control the motherfucking cage and walk him the fuck down and take that round from him. You understand what I'm saying to you? And then come out and have him a little bit timid based off of how the first round took place. Like, is Matt going to be able to come out there and just bully this young boy? Or is this young boy going to come out there and be a little bit cleaner, man? You know what I mean? And just slightly edge out and finagle his way to a, you know, split or unanimous decision in his hometown. It's a good fight, man. I ain't mad at nobody picking Matt. I ain't mad at nobody picking Matt. You know what I'm saying? I can see Matt showing up or some Matt shit. You know what I mean? Like Trey Ogden's been as of lately. And just outworking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And outdoing motherfuckers to edge them out absolutely everywhere in every department and steal the victory. I can see it happening. You know what I mean? But I could also see Zayn winning, man. And possibly finding the finish inside the distance via submission. Maybe he finds it via KO, TKO in the late minutes. If Matt's feeling like they one round apiece going into the third, he might need to finish. Matt can be a bit aggressive. He can come in a bit reckless, winging. You know what I'm talking about? When he's chasing, he will chase the finish. Maybe Zayn can catch him and clip him. You know what I'm talking about? But we'll see, man. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Morgan versus Gabe. You can still give me the dog, man. You can still just give me the dog and Gabe. Fuck it. You know what I'm talking about? Dangerous motherfucker, man. 17 wins. 16 via submission, 1 via KO, TKO, inside the distance. Every single one of them comes inside the distance. He doesn't know what it's like to win via decision, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it's going down for Gabe. He does not know what it's like to win in, you know, via decision, only inside the distance. I think he's lost via decision 3 times, lost via submission 1 time, and lost via knockout 2 times. Something like that. I don't have that in front of me right now. Should have, but I don't. I don't have that shit in front of me right now. I got papers crumbled up everywhere, but that ain't one of them. You know what I'm talking about? I think it's 17 victories, 16 of them are via submission, 1 of them is via KO, TKO. But all of his victories come inside the distance, if I'm not mistaken. None of them come via decision. When it goes to decision, he loses. You know what I mean? He's fucking dangerous. And Morgan, he has 10 losses, 9 of them come via decision. His one and only loss comes via submission. His one and only loss inside the distance comes via submission. And while I do like Morgan, he was my original pick. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because I do like him. I do like the kid. I didn't like him when he went up against Chepe. Chepe was the pick. Like I told everybody, Chepe was the pick. And Chepe came through to do it. Chepe comes through to do. You understand what I'm saying to you? But here, you know, this is very different. Very much so. See, because for Morgan is very well-rounded. Morgan is very fucking solid. And I'm talking about this motherfucker's sharp, man. He got a very sharp fight IQ for the most part. He's smart when he's in there. He picks his shots when he's in there. He's very well-rounded, though. I have to keep touching on the well-rounded part because it's his well-roundedness that gets him these victories. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, don't get it fucked up. Plenty of these victories come inside the distance via KO, TKO, from him clipping and disconnecting somebody from their consciousness, as well as, you know, multiple other variations of victories. You understand what I'm saying to you? But with that being said, he likes to use his all-around body of work. He mixes in a bit of everything. His striking, his wrestling, you know, his takedowns, his takedown attempts, his grappling, his clinch, his getting in close. All of that is dangerous against Gabe, man. All of that is very fucking dangerous against Gabe, man. Gabe possesses a height advantage. Excuse me. if I'm not mistaken. And he possesses about a 3-inch reach advantage in this matchup, if I'm not mistaken. So for Morgan, teeing off from the outside isn't really an option, man. Gabe's no fucking chump in the striking department. He's very fucking dangerous, and he's proved to be his most dangerous on the mat in the jiu-jitsu department. But he's no chump on the feet in the striking department. And when he has a few inches reach, you understand what I'm saying to you, to keep you at the end of those punches, you have to, find your way in there. You got to find your range. You got to get inside that distance a little bit. You got to get close, man. That's not what you want to do with Gabe, because Gabe gets his hands on you early while y'all dry and there's no sweat and blood involved. Man, he can prove to be a real fucking problem for Morgan on Saturday. You understand what I'm saying to you, man? Get him up out of there with quickness. With quickness. He's vicious in that department. And that is the only department that Morgan has ever lost inside the distance in. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not to say that Gabe can't clip him and catch him coming in with a counter. Hurt him, hop on him for a club. And like, you understand what I'm saying to you, man? If he gets his hands on him and gets him down, it could be a wrap. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. You know what I'm talking about? If he catches him coming in trying to close that distance with a counter because he has pop in each and every one of his individual shots, he's one of those. You know what I'm talking about? If he catches him coming in, bop, and hurts him, he could hop on him for the club and sub type situation. You know what I mean? If he starts going for his own takedowns to get this fight down to the ground and he secures that take, it could be fucking problematic for motherfucking Morgan, man. Like, Morgan has to stay safe, man. Morgan has to stay safe, period. He has to stay safe and produce the better all-around body of work while doing so, with, three other individuals were able to do, and a couple other individuals were able to get him out of there inside the distance too. So it's not like there's not a night where Morgan can't get him out of there inside the distance in this fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? I just believe it's dangerous. And it's too fucking dangerous for anybody to be wanting to bet anything on. You know what I mean? Parlay and Morgan at minus 770. Ludovic already at minus 12. Like, these numbers are already crazy. And I get it. Much like I wanted to put Ludovic, you know what I mean, with motherfucking Oki, Umar, and Taylor from my foundation. I think if I take Ludovic's minus 1,200 out, I still got a plus money number because I've used just those three in motherfucking Oki, Umar, and Taylor as foundations for my parlays as well. And I believe they came in like plus 109 or plus 10 something. You understand what I'm saying to you? But they were still a plus money number by me leaving Ludovic out because I have a few of my parlays, where I just, even with the foundation, I don't want anybody over minus 500 involved in there. And I'm lucky with size still being under minus 480 right now, and Taylor at minus 390. They're still under minus 500. You feel me? And those two with Oki at minus 215 still come at a slightly over the plus money number. I think it's like plus 109 or plus 119 or something like that for those three, but it's still a plus money number. And I've used those for a few foundations as well. You understand what I'm saying to you? But it's just a dangerous fight to wrap Morgan at minus 770 into the parlay with them, because I can see a night where Morgan does not win, where Morgan loses the fight, where Gabe wins the fight. You know what I mean? I can see more than one nights where Gabe wins the fight if they run this motherfucker back 10 times. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why, I'm rocking with Gabe, because Gabe, he's got so many ways, man. Not to say that Morgan doesn't, but Morgan, he's not submitting Gabe. Morgan doesn't want to play the wrestle and grapple game and go trying to search for submissions. He doesn't want to get entangled and rolling around with Gabe. So Morgan's can win this one via KO, TKO, or decision, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? But there's too many question marks and too many ways and too many nights that Gabe can win this fight for me to be, confident on the Morgan side of things, man. You know what I'm talking about? So it may fuck with the pick percentage as you know, a pick switch has in the past. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Moving on. Kevin versus Brian. Juicette versus Battle, and it's Battle. I know Juicette is over there representing the flag from over there and all that, but I believe Battle gets him out of there inside the distance. And I personally believe Battle gets him out of there inside of the first 5 minutes. You understand what I'm saying to you? This Brian Battle right now, 2024 going into 2025, and the 2025 Brian Battle, he's a problem, man. In my personal opinion, he's a problem. And you have to properly match him up if you do not want him to be. And Kevin Juicette, or however you say his name, is not that proper matchup. He is not that roadblock. He is not even a speed bump. In my personal opinion, he's going to get fucking hurt, man. You know what I mean? He's going to get hurt. And Brian's a minus 180 to Kevin's plus 114. You know what I'm talking about? Gabe's a plus 470 on Morgan's minus 770, if I ain't say that. But yeah, Battle's a minus 180, and Battle's still the pick. Gomis at plus 215. Brito at minus 290. You know, I get it. I definitely get the Brito pick and the Brito side of things. My pick is still Gomis. You know what I mean? Now, if Brito comes out there and gets the finish inside the distance via submission or via clipping and disconnecting, you know, Gomis from his consciousness, then I'll be glad I had the swap out option in. You know what I'm talking about? Because it has very much so been applied to this fight, man. But I still like Gomis, man. I like Gomis to slow it down. You know, the last time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Brito couldn't get the job done inside the distance is when he lost to Bill Algeo. And, you know, Gomis is no high volume striker like a Bill Algeo. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I do like the slight height, reach, the slight height, because the reach is only about 1 inch, if I'm not mistaken, but the height will very much so come into play with his kicking game. Now, like I said, I get it, because I can see a night where Brito catches Gomis clean and then just completely disconnects him from his consciousness, man. I mean, just stiffens him up. I could see that in a little, you know, exchange on the feet. I can also see Brito locking up the submission inside the distance. If Gomis finds himself in a position like he did with Jarno Aarons, it's over for him against Brito, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? If he finds himself in a couple of striking exchanges that he's found himself in the past, it'll be over for him against Brito, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to switch up on Gomis. Gomis was my pick. I'm going to rock with him. He's still sitting at plus 215, and Brito's minus 290, and I still like him to just slow the fight down. You know what I'm talking about? They both have nice kicks. They both have that. Brito got hella kicks. Gomis got nice kicks. I think Gomis is a little bit more, not active with his kicks, but a little bit more diverse with his kicking game. He throws a few more different types of kicks, where Brito would just try to chop that motherfucking leg all the way the fuck down. Gomis will work it from the inside, from the outside, from the calf, from the thigh. He'll work your body. He'll teep you. You know what I mean? I just feel like he got a bit more that he offers in the kicking game. The striking game, he likes, he does good at keeping individuals at range and slowing shit down. I really don't want to see these individuals on the ground rolling around, because that is where Gomis will be in most danger, in my personal opinion. If he can manage to just, find his range, you know what I'm talking about, and keep old boy at range, keep that danger at bay, you know what I'm talking about, slow this fight down with his kicks, his jabs, keep shit clean, and not get overly invested into anything. If he feels like he hurt Brito, he cannot move in on Brito, all crazy for the finish because Brito will buckle the fuck down, bite on his mouthpiece, and find that goddamn counter and just stiffen him straight the fuck up and have him looking silly. I mean, he might go straight, just fold him straight down. Face hit the motherfucker, ass still in the fucking air, knees on the mat. You know what I'm talking? He might just flatline the fuck out of him. He needs to stay out of those kinds of situations. I'm gonna rock with the youngin'. Know what I mean? It is what it is. Not gonna switch the pick, although I can see why everybody who's on the Joe Anderson Brito side is on the Joe Anderson Brito side. I'm just gonna stay on the Gomes side and let the dice lay where they lay. You know what I'm talking about? Neither one of them are high volume, so I'm not worried about that. Brito is the more dangerous. You gotta worry about that. But we'll see, man. Imavov versus Allen. Imavov minus 230 and Allen a plus 176, and I'm still very much so on Allen. It's the homie though. I'm not going against the grain. I get it. You know what I'm talking about? Swap out options and all that. And I definitely get the action on Imavov for all the same reasons I said about the rest of the individuals on this card representing that flag. If Allen does not get him out of there inside the distance via submission and he only has 15 minutes to do it, he's probably not winning this fight. Know what I mean? Imavov is probably going to produce the better body of work over the course of 15 minutes on the feet in the striking department, and that'll be that with that. Imavov via unanimous decision. Maybe a split decision. Maybe both their names get read off and Imavov will probably get the nod. But, you know what I mean? Imavov is he is vulnerable for that submission. And for an individual like Allen, who is much like Gabe, a lot of those wins, especially the ones inside the distance, but just the majority of the wins, period, they come via submission, man. He knows how to find it. You know what I'm talking about? He knows how to search for it, sink it in, lock it up, and get a motherfucker out of there inside the distance via submission. So I'm hoping he gets it done, man. You know what I'm talking about? Not a whole lot bad to say about either one of these individuals. Imavov does possess the abilities to knock Brendan Allen out on the feet in the striking department, and I believe Brendan Allen knows that. Brendan Allen possesses the abilities to get Imavov to the ground, and if he gets him to the ground, search for that submission, find that submission, sink it in, and lock it up, and I believe Imavov knows that. You understand what I'm saying to you? They only have 15 minutes and not 25, so it's about who gets their game going and who is able to, you know what I mean, stop the other man from implementing their game. Pick your own poison, man. I'm rocking with the homie, though. Moicano versus Saint Denis is still Saint Denis. You know what I'm talking about? To get this one done inside the distance via KO, TKO, via submission in a club and sub type situation. And hopefully he don't find himself on the wrong side of Moicano front choke, guillotine choke, or any kind of motherfucking choke if he attempts to implement his own takedowns or takedown attempts, wrestling or grappling early, which I don't suggest he do. I suggest he just piece Moicano up, hurt Moicano on his feet, kick at his motherfucking legs, make the ref make Moicano get the fuck back up and beat the shit out of him some more. You understand what I'm saying to you? While I do like Renato Money Moicano, and he is very solid and very well-rounded, he is just not necessarily very fucking dangerous in my personal opinion unless you allow him the opportunity to be so. And he is definitely not that fucking durable, man. You know what I'm talking about? Again, all just very much so my personal opinion. He's not a Dustin Poirier, you know what I mean? He's no diamond. He's not an individual who's going down in there and you can bank on him to, you know, buckle down, bite on his motherfucking mouthpiece and bang it the fuck out. You know what I mean? Not in my personal opinion. Benoit, you can bank on him to do that. Is there a night where Money Moicano possibly catches Benoit in some wild-ass motherfucking exchange and just drops him and crumbles him and fucks up everybody's night in parlay? Maybe. Maybe. And that's why you don't put the main event in your main play. You know what I'm talking about? Leave that shit out your main plays, man. But, yeah, man. That's that with that, man. My bad. Took a lot longer than I thought that shit was gonna take. Okie. Know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, leave Nora and Jacqueline fight alone, but I'm rocking with Nora. I'm rocking with Vicky. I said Vicky. Victoria. Oh, Victoria. Damn! Victor. I called this motherfucker Vicky. And I kinda corrected, called him Victoria. Motherfucking Victor. Ain't that about a bitch? That's what he get for being mixed in between Nora, Jacqueline, Aylin, and Dara. Danielle and Victoria is what they almost got called down this motherfucker, man. God damn. Okie, Nora, Victor, Aylin, Taylor, Ludovic, Cy, Ivan, Zayn, Gabe, Battle, Gomis, Allen, and Saint Denis, man. Had that situation all fucked up, didn't I? Hey, yo, let's talk about these prelims real quick, man. Ludovic, Okie, Umar, and Taylor. That's my foundation. And those four motherfuckers come together at plus 140. All on the prelims. I got something heavy on them motherfuckers. So, as long as everybody shows up and does what the fuck they supposed to do, then, you know, that bag will be secured off jump. But Ludovic, Okie, Omar, and Taylor, that's at plus 140. You know what I'm talking about? Now for me, on these prelims, you can give me Vic, toss Vic in there. You know what I'm talking about? Ludovic, Okie, Omar, Taylor, and Vic, they come at plus 329. Then I toss motherfucking Ivan in there. They come at plus 750. 6 legs on the prelims at plus 750. Ludovic, Okie, Umar, Taylor, Victor, and Ivan. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna roll the dice on that. Then my haymaker for the prelims, which is gonna be all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go Ludovic, Okie, Umar, Taylor, Vic, Ivan. That's at plus 750. Then I toss in Nora, and they come at plus 2127. You know what I'm talking about? But then for that last fight, because we got 8 of them motherfuckers on the prelims, it's going to be Ludovic, Okie, Umar, Taylor, Vic, Ivan, Nora. And I'm going to get real spicy with Dara. They come at plus 64.92, but then I'll swap out Dora for Aylin for plus 29.83. You know what I'm talking about? So that's my sprinkles on the prelims, you know what I mean? I'm heavy on Ludovic, Okie, Omar, and Taylor, because that's my foundation at plus 140. Then I toss in Vic at plus 329, toss in Ivan, that's at plus 750, toss in Nora at plus 2127, toss in Dora at plus 64.92, but swap out Dora and toss in Aylin for plus 29.83. You know what I'm talking about? We fucking with this main card. You can give me Benoit and Battle for motherfuckers that don't want to go too hard. If you like those two individuals, those 2 legs, they come at plus 109. Benoit, Battle, and Zayn come at plus 272. Benoit, Battle, Zayn, and Allen come at plus 928. And Benoit, Battle, Zayn, Allen, and Gomis, they come at plus 3139. You know what I'm talking about? Benoit, Battle, Zayn, and Gomis come at plus 1073. That's all just for me, though. You know what I'm talking about? Also, if you fucking with the favorites, Benoit battle Imavov and Brito. Benoit battle Imavov and Brito. Those 4 legs on the main card come at plus 303. And if you want to fuck with Morgan, you can add Morgan as your 5th leg for plus 356. And if you like all favorites, you can toss in Zaim at plus 712. But if you want Matt to be your one dog, you swap out Zaim and you toss in Matt for plus 812. So 4 legs at plus 303. All favorites on the main card is Benoit battle Imavov and Brito at plus 303. You toss in Morgan, then Benoit battle Imavov, Brito, and Morgan come at plus 356. Then for your swap out option for your 6th leg, you can go Benoit battle Imavov, Brito, Morgan, and Zaim for plus 712, or Benoit battle Imavov, Brito, Morgan, and Matt is your one dog for plus 812. You know what I'm talking about? If you like them favorites on the main card, you know what I mean? For me, I got some heavy action on 6 legs at plus 567 now. It was at plus 667, I believe, around 6 something. I gotta go look at it when I drop, you know what I mean, my first thing on it. Now it's at plus 597 when I just went and looked all these money lines and all these new lines up for these parlays that I'm talking about right now. So my little 6-legger is Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Zaim, and Battle. And those 6 right now come at plus 567. They came at plus 6 something the other day, but that's because Zaim wasn't a minus 128 favorite that he is now. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's probably like a minus 110. Pick him. But that's me. I like Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Zaim, and Battle at plus 567. I add Benoit for my 7th leg at plus 797. I add Victor as my 8th leg for plus 1499, and Ivan as my 9th leg for plus 3067. You understand what I'm saying to you? So for me, you know what I mean, I got a little something on that too. Now, if you fucking with these favorites, but you like Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, and Omar, you can catch Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Morgan, Battle, Brito, Imavov, and Benoit. 9 legs at plus 998. You know what I'm talking about? That's 9 favorites, 9 legs for 998. What motherfucking degenerate doesn't like how that sound? Huh? But that's Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Morgan, Battle, Brito, Imavov, and Benoit for plus 998. And if you want to add the 10th leg, you can add Zaim for plus 1857, or you can swap out Zaim and add Matt as your one dog for the whole card for your 10 leg haymaker toss and get plus 2097. You know what I mean? Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Omar, Morgan, Battle, Brito, Imavov, and Benoit are 9 legs at plus 998. Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Morgan, Battle, Brito, Imavov, Benoit, and Zaim are 10 legs at plus 1857, or swap out Zaim and Oki, Taylor, Ludovic, Umar, Morgan, Battle, Brito, Imavov, Benoit, and Matt as your one dog. Come at plus 2097. You know what I'm talking about? That's just a little bit of light work, you know what I mean? That's just a little couple joints that I'm invested into myself, my foundation that I'm building, some of my parlays off, my 4-leg foundation, and then my 3-leg foundation, which is my 4-leg is Ludovic, Oki, Umar, and Taylor, and my 3-leg is Oki, Umar, and Taylor. You understand what I'm saying to you? Staying away from the heavy favorite because it really doesn't do a whole lot. It does do a little bit though, as far as my foundation is concerned. You know what I'm talking about? But that's that with that, man. You know what I mean? Very much so. I'm going to tap back in a little bit later on, and I'm going to give y'all the full parlay video. Nothing but parlays for the prelims, for the main card, for the whole card, haymakers, Hail Marys if you want to do all 14 fights on the app. You understand what I'm talking about? Parlays with swap out options, the all favorites, the dog plays. I'm gonna cover absolutely everything I can for y'all. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll tap back in a little bit later on, man. Peace and blessings.